If I had the power of the Leosulfur, I would ensure that my brother and Leon had nothing but carefree dreams, like the old days.
What makes a great counter hero, especially with something like Spur and Close Call Repel. She's also a great Fury hero, mostly because she needs more speed at base, and Fury provides that. Now, her HP isn't crazy high, but is above average. A lot of the Gen 1 heroes have above average HP nowadays, especially 15 flowers and plus 10. It's a max plus attack Eirika, which I really like. If you go plus attack and go Fury 4, that's probably the right option, because then you don't really need to go plus speed. Super Boon in attack is much more worthwhile and gets her to 59 attack, which is kind of low, but honestly, it's fine. At plus attack, it actually makes a lot of sense. Anyways, the big thing about her is Sigland buffing her up. So if she uses defense tactic, attack tactic, I actually would do defense tactic or like res tactic or speed tactic, and then use Sigland just plus 4. Of course, you don't do that if you have somebody else to do the buffing for her. Which I would presume no? Maybe. But yeah, Fury, Spur, and Ether, Rally Speed, Res, and Sigland. I would honestly put Speed Tactic on her instead and then use Sigland's plus 4. You lose on 2 attack, but that's fine. Anyways, the entire point of her is to buff her ally, and then buffing her ally also buffs her up. As for Ether, I suppose this is a scoring build, and yeah, it makes sense. Though if it's truly scoring, you do Red Dual Infantry. Wow, you even have Harsh Command Plus. Yeah, I don't do Threaten. I don't think Threaten Attack Res or Threaten. I think Threatens are like overrated, way overrated. They're worth good points, and that's about it in my book. Because the first battles and the following battles is where it makes the most sense. If you're a distant counter hero, don't even bother with Threaten. It doesn't work very well at all. It's only for up close stuff where it does something. Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff. Wow. Yeah, Eirika's one of the better Resplendent heroes. Though I'm starting to think like I don't want a plus 10 Eirika anymore. I was going to do a plus 10 Eirika with distant counter, but now that I know about
My life
Ellie,
in R with Valoria
Adagard.
Dominance 0485725866.
Okay. Oh my god, there's a lot of stuff here. Alright, I'm gonna give up. There's a lot. Wow, you even have law attack defense. You can probably make the best possible builds with this Eirika, but I like this Eirika for general play. Fury, Spurn, Ether. So you have some healing, you have damage reduction, you have extra damage when your special triggers. The only thing you're missing is Red Duel for true points. Wow, actually, Time's Pulse would be really good. Oh, yeah, Time's Pulse would be really good as well, just to drop the cooldown even more. Oh! I mean, at least you, Assassin's EPM, at least you have your name down correctly. I was just looking at this, is like, why would you not use Resplendent Eirika? Oh wait, it is Resplendent Eirika. Very few people do this, actually. A lot of people go for the Resplendent art, but there are times when the Resplendent art is not the best. And I can agree with Eirika, because her looking super fairy is not for everyone, that's for sure. Anyways.
No kidding.
Plus speed, I don't disagree with plus speed. If you're doing DC close call, you need every point of speed. It's just you gotta make sure she has the attack. If you do indeed use her in Ether Raids, where you should, because that's where she really shines. Light Blessing gives her as much attack as possible and as much speed as possible to max out the close call. DC close call is actually a really good on her. Speed tactic, defense tactic, I like that. Though I would generally say speed tactic's the hardest one to get, no?
Typically, yeah. Because defense tactic would actually be the rarest one now.
Wait,
I think.
Is it? I thought defense tactic was the easiest one to get.
Well, for just a single copy, sure, because that comes on Legendary Ike. But as far as the ease of being able to get speed tactic, it's on at least one Grail unit. Let me look up who it's all on. Because I know it's on Lin and then Yogurt. Yogurt hasn't been taken out of the permanent new banner pool either.
New Year Air, apparently. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
As long as... Yep.
Well, I was just gonna
so
say...
speed tactic is on Legendary Len, Yogurt, Dancer Nephany, Valentian Katria, New Year Air, and Summer Loot. So it is available at 4 stars. And it's the 4-star skill for Summer Loot as well. Whereas Defense Tactic
is on Mustafa.
All right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I would have.
Otherwise it's on New Year's Legarn, Legendary Ike, and Shiro.
Right. So generally speaking, I would take Defense Tactic or Res Tactic, which is the easiest one by far, because that's just a 5-star lower shell. Either of those would have been good. And I hope you have Res Tactic on somebody else, but sure, you got Speed Tactic on. I'm just like questioning the cost there. Anyways, that's fine. Though I would say Draconic Aura is probably the silliest thing you can do. Despite the fact that grants bonus to attack, defense, speed, defense, res equals highest bonus on allies within 2 spaces, you'll never get high enough where Draconic Aura makes sense. So I would absolutely do Iceberg if you're looking for damage, but in a build like this, it's about staying alive. So I would do Soul or Noontime. If you run her with Brave Lucina, Noontime is just instant. They hit her and then she just counterattacks and heals. Ether also works in that kind of setup as well. But yeah, I wouldn't really change anything except for your special. But yeah, Iceberg if it's for damage, Noontime or Soul for healing. If you have Brave Lucina, it could be Noontime or Ether. Oh my god, there's Ruptured Sky. So that DC is probably from Byleth. Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, but there's not much to do. Just give her all the flowers, 13 flowers, all the merges. Not bad to keep her as base form and switch to special. But yeah, that's about the only thing to do. If you have another buffer though, switch this to attack tactic and do this. And instead of defense tactic, run sturdy stance. That's what I would do. Or if your speed doesn't get high enough, swift posture or swift posture is also, or steady posture, depending on which one you think you need more of. I really like her. I'm actually really considering getting the Fey Pass again, just to get her. Now we know it's Alm, so Alm's not so bad because his refine's really good and he's anti-dragons too, so I can use him in Arena Assault. But yeah, I'm seriously considering just for Eirika, but we'll see. Let's see some of the Eirika builds today. Okay, I can't not talk about her art. Her face just gets to me. This is... How do we go from, like... It's just so different. She's, like, 5 years younger.
Yeah.
Alright. I appreciate people for trying it, though. Anyways, as for the build itself, this is a very interesting one. Whoa. Hold on. Now I'm just confused. Is this Eirika the main focal point in your team?
This is strange.
Because Sudden Panic, Infantry Pulse, and Defense Tactic technically goes back right onto her, so it's fine. But Sudden Panic and Infantry Pulse, those are weird things to carry on Eirika. And this is a Light Blessing team, which indicates like she's a support piece. This at plus 10, 15, which by the way, you didn't go plus attack. Wow. It is plus 4 attack.
Yeah, it is a super boon for her, but with 47 speed now, with 15 flowers and Resplendent, I can see the argument for plus speed.
The thing is, I would personally go plus speed had it not been the Resplendent. With the Resplendent, I think a plus attack is just much smarter, because the way I see her is as the focal point in your team. So you buff her up for plus 6 speed, and then of course if you buff her up for plus 6 speed, she gets another plus 6 speed. So from that respect, I think she's like absolutely fine to go plus attack. But yeah, honestly, plus speed is fine. It's not a crazy big difference. It's just at 51 attack, she will struggle sometimes to get off the kills. And this is more like what I thought Eirika's would be, with the Refine as the main sweeper on the team. Now, I'm not a fan of Distant Ward. I really think Distant Counter is better, especially because her defense and Resling has a 2-point gap. She would do both jobs essentially the same. With Time's Pulse and Luna dropping to 2 cooldown, lull speed defense, and Distant Ward, the entire idea is they attack, and she attacks, and then she kills. She would do that really, really, really easily. The other thing to consider is to run Time's Pulse with Ether and a Brave Lucina. That's also really good because they would attack, then you would attack, and then you just Ether. That way you have the damage and the healing. But this is perfectly good as well. But yeah, lull speed defense is perfectly fine. I would just go DC personally. Yeah, what do you think, Mad Crash?
DC is definitely going to be better than Distant Ward. For B skills, you certainly have options. Null Follow-Up or Null Sea Disrupt are very, very strong options. Time's Pulse, I can see it working. I can also see other options potentially working a little better. And then, oh god, what else is on the list for C skills?
Oh, that's where you got the ward from. You're kidding me. All right.
At least it was economical fodder.
Yeah.
But
Edelgard deserves
the biggest
better.
thing, yeah, the biggest thing with actually using Eirika and having her actually perform well, you almost have to have Kaden or Veronica once the Refine drops on the field and providing buffs and also being buffed. So there's quite a bit of setup that goes into using Eirika, but as long as that setup doesn't get subverted, it's not going to be easy to take her down.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have Kaden, Brave Lucina, Peony, tons of heroes would just set up Eirika so spectacularly. You did not need to kill Brave Edelgard, by the way. You had this to counter, and I would take Time's Pulse over Ward. So, jeez. Alright, but yeah, this is a really good hero. Make sure to max her out. Personal suggestions, go back to DC. Time's Pulse is perfectly good. Your seal slot could be, depending on if you feel like you fight more res-based, like magical heroes, then you go for Mirror Stance. But if it's otherwise, then go for like Sturdy Stance. Or Swift Stance. Ooh. See, this is also an option. The reason why I have not mentioned DC Close Call, which she will pull off, absolutely. But the reason why I don't mention it is because thanks to Siglin and her ability to stack stats, she might take so little damage it doesn't matter. For example, if you get her +6 res, and of course your ally +6 res, in total she gets 12. So she can hit like 47 res and like, 45 defense. You're not really worried about taking too much damage at that point. Close Call will still reduce 40%, but at that point, I usually prefer like
I
lull.
think the best C skill for Eirika is a gap skill so that she takes advantage of the buffs.
A gap skill.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wait,
Yeah, because gaps will buff 2 stats by 5?
wait, best C skill.
Yeah, gaps are C skills.
Huh. Okay, I guess if you trigger it on her.
Well,
I'm just thinking.
Gap skills cannot target the user, so the buff automatically goes to whoever has the highest total
Yeah.
of those 2. So yeah,
Right, but I'm just thinking like, what gap skill would you even prefer?
any of them, and then just make up the other stats with a rally or something else.
Okay, because the Eirika teams I've seen so far have been like set up by tactics. Like somebody in your team is set up like, for example, if you run her on light season with Air, and Air's carrying double tactics, and of course Air can give her some healing as well. Like those are interesting setups. Well, she would carry one tactic in that case, but okay, yeah, I guess gaps work really well too. Oh. Okay. Anna has attack, speed gap, and dual rally for setup. Then you have to run over with Anna, or you kill Anna for attack, speed gap. I'm not sure. I'm not like, I'm not sold on gaps, and they're quite expensive, so. But yeah, of course, as long as she has the buffs, it would work. Anyways, in this case, there's Flashing Blade. So you gotta make sure the speed tactic triggers on somebody else so she can get those buffs. And not to mention, hopefully she gets buffed for speed as well. Getting 12 extra speed would really help your close call out, because that effectively is 54. But yeah. Eirika's now really interesting thanks to all this stuff. Close call is an option, but not my favorite. But I can't disagree with it. Whenever you can pull something like this off, it works really well. Just make sure you get 10 more flowers, you can get up to 44 speed. Another one. And this one is Null, Sea Disrupt, and plus speed, and maxed out. Ooh. Now, I agree with either attack or speed, but I think if you have a fully supported team, attack probably works out better. Because with 12 more speed, for example, shit's, 59. That could be a bit overkill. 59 versus 56. Not a lot of situations where you need that high, but I understand it. Without support, obviously would prefer to have plus speed, but with support, which is where she shines the most, obviously I think attack is better because it's super boon. You get 1 more point. But yeah, 51 attack at full investment, as with 15 flowers and plus 10, it is a oof. So I agree with that. With that said, though, this one goes into DC, Null, Sea Disrupt, Pulse Smoke, and Flashing Blade. So in terms of best B skills, Null, Sea Disrupt makes things the easiest for her to deal with because there are a lot of fire heroes, a lot of staff heroes, and they kind of shred her, or at least annoy her a lot because she can't do anything about it. But if you do use it, you'll be able to counter them. It does open things up, and it allows her to be a full-on sweeper, but does open things up. Because if they're fully buffed up, for example, things might go bad. Or if they have instant specials, then you would prefer like things like Close Call or whatever to save you a lot more damage, especially if it's AoEs. But yeah, with all that said, Null, Sea Disrupt might be the most ideal thing if you have her fully buffed up, and especially at completely maxed. So it's hard to disagree with that, and of course, Pulse Smoke, just to get rid of specials and whatnot, keeps her a lot safer. So I think in terms of like maxing out the commitment, this is probably the way to do it. Flashing Blade also indicates you probably don't have, because it's they attack, you attack, so
it
keep
is
those
not
ready.
too late for me to toss my unit into the mix. 6,026,515,177. It is a work in progress, but welcome suggestions.
You guys should put which hero it is, so I know what it is to like going into it. But yeah, I will. Wow, you have Spurn too. Okay. Anyways, I was gonna say Flashing Blade usually indicates, however, that you do not have her with Lucina, Brave Lucina, but that's fine. It's just ideally you have Brave Lucina, so you open up your seal slot for something else, and because she's buffing your stats. But yeah, this is a really good Eirika. I don't really have anything to say.
It is a
It's
work
good.
in progress, Valentine Faye.
Okay. For everyone who's gone Resplendent Eirikas thus far, what do you even think of her outfit? Because I think most people who got her like purposely, especially at the commitment of plus 10, plus 15, do you actually like it? I think if it was slightly less fairy and her face looked slightly more normal, I'd be all over it. I mean, I'm already like really leaning towards getting a plus 10 Eirika, doing plus 10 Eirika myself. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't know if I can look at it forever, is what I would say.